So I thought that today we could go ahead and finish looking at what was in the package I ordered recently. I have them right here, already taken out of the bag, and let's hop right into this. Alright, so I've got these two things here. One you can clearly tell is pen nibs, and the other one is, you could maybe assume, the pen, and you would assume right. I've waited to open both of these until I was filming, but now, well, I could probably just tear this open. But I'd like to cut it open with some precision, so handily, this little knife was right here waiting for me. Should I cut through this? It is both taped and it has this little sticker on it. How does this? Oh, there we go. I'm trying to get this in here. Oh, there we go. That's just trash. So here we have our pen nibs. I remember this. These Nico G model. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't actually know. There's a little chart here that shows how fine versus bold, I guess, the line is. I don't know. It's hard to tell exactly what this tells me about the line. I think it means it's on the bolder end, but also this whole half is shaded, so maybe it means that it can be fine and bold. I don't know. It does say soft right here. I assume this is the amount of flex the nib has, and the softer it is, the flexier it is. So that's, I lost my knife. Oh, yeah, of course. Let's open these up and see what we're dealing with here. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with these once I have them opened. Oh wait, okay, I see now. Just, let's get a little bit of glue on it, and it opens from the bottom. We got two of them. Well, let's try to get the third one. Oh, hello. Alright, so here we have one pen nib. I hope that focuses. No, it's not gonna. Just back it up just a little. Maybe this will focus. Yeah. Here we have our pen nib. It does seem quite flexible. You can see the prongs are poking out quite a bit. I do think that that's what this little part is for, is to have it flex a little bit. And probably also this little hole. It's kind of hard to see. This does say the pen name brand, Nico. Nico pen, made in Japan, and there is a G on it. I don't know if you can see. I can kind of see in the video feed. But anyway, those are the nibs. They're all three the same. They're all three the G model 240. They do have this little ribbing kind of on the front of it, which I guess helps hold some of the ink. But now we have this nib holder that I bought. I had seen a couple of videos of these being used online, and I really wanted to get one for myself and try it out. So I think I might have gotten too flexible nibs for what I want, but that's okay. I can still work with them, even if it's temporary. I don't know why I said it like that. But this is a, oh, just zoom in. This is a, I don't know if it's pronounced browse or browse calligraphy nib holder. It's a natural wood brown. I had tried to buy nib holders in the past, but it always said that they were not available in my country, which is odd, I suppose, but also not really. But here it is. It looks very pretty. It's very smooth. Kinda, well, initially I was gonna say it kinda feels like it is sort of plasticky, but now that I feel it a little bit more, it feels just more like very heavily polished wood. But I can't really tell if it's fake or not. I don't think it is, as far as I can tell. You can see this is where the nibs slide in. You can probably go ahead and try to do that. I don't actually know how to do this. I feel like you'd stick it out on one of the sides maybe, or just right there in the crosshairs. Okay. I just put it right in the middle of this little cross thing. I hope that's right. I was just gonna slide it in on the end, but I didn't think that was right. Let's see if I can find something to write on here. Get me a nice legal pad. Well, oh, we'll just keep it zoomed in. I don't know why I tried to zoom in. I'm gonna try this Winsor Newton ink again. This time with this guy. It's a big fat bubble. Can you see that? Watch me pop it. Oh. Nice. I don't really know which side to keep the ink on. I think I'd keep it on that side, but also I feel like I would hit it a lot. Also, this scratches this paper a lot. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but it's making a nice chunky scratch sound. That's an odd description. Dipped it in the ink a little bit. Stir it around some. Dab it off. My name is Raven. I don't think this pen works very well with this paper. I think that's the problem. It does write pretty good, as far as I can tell. It's some nice shapes. It doesn't work so well on the writing upward, but it definitely works good going down. You can see you do get these fine lines, and you can also make it fatter, which I guess is why it's both fine and bold. But I don't know, really. I'm not much of a run out of ink here. You gotta dip this one quite a bit, it would seem. It does okay on the speedier marks. But drawing down, oh, I guess that's how you know you run out of ink. Welcome to the video. That's not normally how I write. Normally I write in all caps, as you can kind of see up there, but there's something about, ugh, that was not the most pleasant sound. I just popped some of the paper. There's just something interesting about how speedy it can sometimes be to write with all lowercase. But anyway, I'm going to clean this off with a little napkin here real quick, just so it doesn't dry out on the nib. And I guess I'm going to see what I can do. Maybe make a drawing with this pen. See how well that goes. Hopefully good. I would like to be able to, one, use this ink, and two, also use this pen and the nibs I bought for it. Those would both be really nice. Let's try to make a nice little thumbnail here, shall we? Just real quick, because, you know, we got all the time in the world. We got all the time in the world. I hope it focuses on the ink bottle. It doesn't look like it's gonna. Maybe if I put this on top of it. Come on. Come on. Okay. There we go. Alright, that looks good to me. So to start this drawing off, I did do a pencil sketch, because I did try to do it with straight going in with the pen, and that I was not happy with it. To be honest, I thought it just didn't feel right to me, and I felt that, you know, I could do a much better interpretation with pencil sketch first, and then going in with the ink. The picture I'm drawing today is a portrait of Egon Schiele, who was an artist around the same time as Gustav Klimt, and he was actually Klimt's apprentice at one point. Schiele is one of my favorite artists, actually, and I've drawn a couple of pictures of him before. I think I drew this exact same picture once before, and it might be my most liked picture on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. If you went and looked for it, it's most noticeable because the whole thing is a red monochrome kind of thing. It's sort of more of a magenta-y color. But what did I use? I used a marker that I'm pretty sure was red. Although it might have, the color, I used a Crayola marker, I'm pretty sure. I think the name of the color of marker might have been like raspberry or something, so you could say it's raspberry colored. But I'd probably just call it red. Well, honestly, I would probably call it like magenta or something. Anywho, I did the pencil sketch first, and then I went in with the ink, which this Winsor Newton ink that I talked about not working very well with my glass pen in my previous video worked much better with this metal nibbed pen. I was a lot happier with the results, and it was comforting to see that my ink does work with one of the pens I bought, because it'd be a little disheartening if it didn't. You know, I bought this ink specifically to use with both of these pens in my initial intent, and it didn't work with one, and it did work with the other, which is pretty good. I'm quite happy with that, actually. Initially, when I was drawing, I did get this feeling that my line was not super unique compared to other pens. I thought, well, I could just draw this picture with any other pen and it would look pretty much the same. But I do think that there's sort of a subtle difference that you almost can't really pick up on, because I think each pen has, to some degree, its own individuality to it, even among like the same brand, like the Copic multiliners, for example. I have one of those right in front of me. But I was trying to think of the Pigma Microns, but you know, they're essentially the same pen. But like each one of these pens has the same body and the same felt tip and the same kind of ink inside of them. but the different widths, the way they lay on the paper, I'm guessing they probably sort of make your mind think just a little bit differently, and so it's going to create different kinds of variations of line. Oh, I keep feeling like I'm about to burp. And just, even knowing beforehand, even if you just picked a random one and didn't look and just started drawing with it, I think you would get a different kind of result to some degree, if you know what I'm saying, every time you drew. I didn't think that happened with this. Like this, the way I have to hold this pen and the way the nib flexes and unintentionally creates varying thicknesses of line, and as the ink kind of runs out, some of the lines get a little bit more faint. And I think all of that put together does create a uniqueness to this image, to this drawing, that I did not realize when I was drawing it in the moment. And now I do appreciate the value of this pen, and I would definitely use it again. I haven't really used it too much since. It has been a couple of days since I drew and edited this footage, and then am making this recording now. In those few days since, I've mostly just been kind of playing with it in a sense. I've been kind of just writing down little notes here and there about different things to keep track of it or remember or something, and kind of I've used the Waterman ink a couple of times with it, and it's working pretty good with both inks. It doesn't really work so well with softer papers. Like I tried to write on a legal pad with it a little bit, and something about the legal pad just doesn't really work. It's just too soft. There's not enough firmness. It's not tightly woven enough, and it just kind of scratches the paper a lot and makes it hard to write, especially on the upstrokes. Like when I was talking about how I was writing I just remembered that I was writing on the legal pad in the beginning of this video, and I was talking about how it didn't work so well on the upstrokes. It worked a little bit better on this paper with the upstrokes. But yeah, overall, I'd say it's a pretty good pen. If you want to buy it, go for it. Can't remember how much it cost me, but that's something you'll have to look at. I did also, real quick, like to mention that I filled in the black with this old brush pen that I had. I just dipped it straight in the ink and just sort of covered the black spots with it. And I think it works pretty good. I was a little bit hesitant that it might not look so great or work, but in the end it did turn out pretty good. Quite happy with that, actually. I was surprised, to say the least. I feel like I already said that, but it is a little disorienting to try to remember everything. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you've had an enjoyable time, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.